What's up, everybody? This is Chris Cream of South Jersey Cast and Supreme Cinema. Big shout out to other people's perspectives. Big shout out to
Scotty.
I did it again. Give a big shout out to opposing perspectives. That's the tongue twister. I was reading it. Perspective came out. What's up, everybody? This is Chris Cream of South Jersey Cast, and I'm here with Sadell from OPP, Opposing Perspectives Podcast, and they'll have no toilet paper or soap or paper towel in the bathroom. Real rap.
Well, listen, we have an actor, director, producer. I mean, this man is like influential in the movie scene in Camden. He is like, this guy turns non-actors into actual actors. I mean, he does it all. He's a guy who definitely will step over that line with no problem. Personal space, this man does not know what that is. But this man, he has a lot of knowledge. And, you know, if you are fortunate to be able to have a conversation, you need to soak up as much knowledge as possible. Shout out Chris Cream. No, I appreciate you. As we get started, you know, my first question is going to say, you know, who is Chris Cream?
When I stepped into the public space of entertainment, I had to ask myself, well, who am I getting ready to present to the world? In terms of that, one thing I know I am is her youngest son. Everything else will come. Mm-hmm. So all the other titles that people throw on me, or the lights that God allows to shine through me and gives me a quote unquote new lane, I just take that as it comes. My mom's young. I'm a product of my dad, my mom, my brothers, my grandfather. I'm Camden. I'm that.
Big dog in the yard. Big dog.
So we got a dope interview that we that's really about to happen. Before we get into it though, I just want to say I was watching your interview with Train, and you really went into Clifton Powell. You called him the real Pinky.
That's who he is. That's who Cliff is. Cliff is a unique individual. When you're around him, he can go. I can give you a couple Cliff stories. Mm. Damn, one pops in the mind, right? One pops in the mind where we're filming Chase Street, and it's downtime, and they're dumping the hard drive, or dumping the memory card, or what have you, and recharging the batteries. We're in a hotel. Mm. It's like 5 or 6 dudes, and we're all just Cliff sitting on that side by the window. You know, hotel Holiday Inn. We're in the Holiday Inn on 70, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So he's over there by the window, and I'm over here, and I'm kind of like just on the bed like this, like just, the cat sitting around, and everybody looked at it, right? It's kind of quiet in the room. We had been filming for a while, and out of nowhere, randomly, he goes, excuse the expression, right? This is Cliff.
It's okay.
Bitch is over 40 years old. This story's about to get deep. Damn, you started with a wild card right here. I just want you to know, you started with a wild card. Asked me on Pinky for you said you was gonna ask me. All right, okay, you want it, you got it. You want it. He goes. He must be sitting there with the phone in his hand. He goes, these bitches over 40. They use up that pussy in their 30s and in their 20s, and then they get in their 40s and 50s, and they want to go to church, and then start sending you scriptures and try to take you to church because they didn't get, and then want to get all. Looking around, everybody in the room. This is random. It's quiet. I told you, it's quiet as hell. Everybody like that, chilling. Batteries dumping, bored. And he blurts this out of nowhere. Look at him. Ironically enough, not long before that, a woman had just sent me a scripture.
Oh. Was she over 40?
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, do we have the same woman in the Why you start right there, bro? Stop.
I had to, man.
That's a true story. That really happened. That happened. You looking at me like, really? No, that really happened. That's a real story. I'm never gonna lie to you. If I say it happened, it happened.
You talked about him getting into an argument
The Chinese lady?
Yeah, that's what a little bit. You said a little bit about that. No, how was he directing scenes? Y'all brought him over to direct?
He was, okay, so the initial installment of Chase Street, Cliff was the director on that.
Oh, okay.
And using his star power, his name, and all those different things was the obvious
The marketing
aim of that.
Yeah.
Cliff had never directed at this point.
Really?
Smaller things, but nothing on the scale of on this right here. So this was something new, a newer venture for him, to my understanding. Don't quote me on that, but I'm 88, 90% sure.
Yeah.
Right there. That's close, right?
Yeah. Close enough.
So Cliff was here. We're filming. And the funny thing about that was when you go quiet on set, everything got to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Even you, director.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's a scene where there's several scenes. There's scene after scene like this where the Spanish guy is getting shot at on the steps. And he's sitting on the steps. Boom. Ambiance is set. And then the cats come around the corner, they go busting at him. We're not going hot, so there's no real guns out there. So you got to actually, play this inside to make it organic.
Mm-hmm.
And action. Guy gets up off the steps. It's quiet on set because the dialogue is supposed to be happening as it's going. He's running, and Cliff is in the background. Run, 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 run. We got to cut because the director is saying, run, 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 run. As it's supposed to be quiet on set. Take it because he was so passionate about it. He hadn't directed at that point. Okay. So even like to the point where we were doing the one in front of the Chinese store that you asked about previously. There's a scene, they're doing a sex scene in the car, and we're shooting in front of a Chinese store, a bar, and a liquor store sits on a little strip. The Chinese store is everything. There's always sounds on the Chinese store. Always sounds. Right. Always sounds. The door is open. It's summertime. The car is parked right in front of the Chinese store. The young ladies in the car, they're doing what they're doing. She's actually exposed a bit. Okay. And everybody else is over here. It's just them and the camera right here outside the car. Cliff standing there. And he goes over to the Chinese store. And he closes the door. He comes back over. The camera's rolling. 2 seconds later, the Chinese lady comes out. Guns blazing. Boom!
Oh my gosh.
Why you close my door? She went apeshit. Everything that you would think would be written into a spoof happened right there. She's going apeshit. Why you close my door? You close my door. Puerto Rich kids are like, come on, Mom, we doing something good for the city. Chill out, we doing something good. I don't care. She starts snapping on him. Like he starts snapping back.
He not even from here.
This is all right. Mind you, this scene is still being shot. The cameras is rolling. She walked all the way down the parking lot to the owner who gave us his blessings to use the space. And he's standing out watching it. Tall black man. He walks her all the way back to her door. All the way back across the parking lot to her door. Stood there at the door. And he walked away. Now Cliff came to the door. And she's standing there. And she looking at him. Why you close my door? Why you close my door? This is where the story gets crazy. What? She's saying a lot more, but this is the basis of what she's saying. She's snapping, cursing, everything you've seen on the spoof of an Asian person cussing us out. She was doing it real rap. It was perfect. Everything. I can't even. I know Cliff. I can't even give everything she did. At this point, camera's still rolling. Mm-hmm. Cliff goes, "This my store. That's my store." Cliff goes, "Bitch, I see this body just right here. Look at this body motion. Look at this body motion. Bitch, I know it's your store. I know it's your store." He turned around in a circle. Go the fuck in it. Get the fuck in. Man, yo, this shit was so hilarious. This shit was so. And I'm looking at it, all our crew. I'm like, yo, nobody got a cell phone out. Nobody's recording that part right there because the camera was just on the car. Mind you, all this talking, you can't use this footage. Mm-hmm. You can't use this. You can't use none of it. Nah, he's a great person to be around. Gives you gems.
Did he explain why he entertained all that afterwards?
Because he's Cliff.
He probably was still upset by
He's more like Pinky. If you don't know who Clifton Powell is, go watch Friday. and see the Pimp on Friday. Any of those. He's on so many movies, but I say he's more like Pinky because I've seen Pinky quite a few times.
Turn up.
I've seen, like, in conversation in the room, I've seen him pop up like, this guy is crazy. I ain't seen Chauncey or none of them other people in the room.
So it wasn't just a 1 or 2 time thing.
I've been in the room with him many a time.
That's crazy.
We were shooting a series. I mean, I can show you on my Facebook how many different rooms we've been in, you know what I mean? Just by looking through my gram or something. Like, you're like, damn, he's here. Because it was a series over a period of time when we were doing that.
That's dope. Well, listen, let's get into it. Let's welcome Opposing Perspectives Podcast. I'm your host, Dale. Also, I want to thank my co-host for coming back. Before this episode, we've been beefing about what side of the couch we want to sit on. She's trying to take my side of the couch already.
Wow.
And I want to thank her for compromising and saying, can you just sit on that end and we'll figure something out for the next one.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Y'all ain't clapping me though.
Because you're not trying to
Yeah, it's like that. Well, listen, we have an actor, director, producer. I mean, this man is like influential in the movie scene in Camden. He is like, this guy turns non-actors into actual actors. I mean, he does it all. He's a guy who definitely will step over that line with no problem. Personal space, this man does not know what that is. But this man, he has a lot of knowledge. And, if you are fortunate to be able to have a conversation, you need to soak up as much knowledge as possible. Shout out Chris Cream.
Thanks for having me, bro.
No, appreciate you. As we get started, my first question is going to say, who is Chris Cream?
I'm my mother's youngest son. Rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace.
So you asked me that, and when I first decided to even do anything in entertainment, one of my closest friends, my brother from another mother, Quaz, Corey, shout out to Quaz. He said to me, as we were in his mother's basement, I was getting ready to go out and start doing spoken word, and I was doing poetry at that point in time, and getting ready to be booked on different shows throughout different places, comedy shows, what have you. And he goes, Cream, which is my last name, what the hood calls me. Mm-hmm. Cream, what's your stage name going to be? Mm-hmm. Stage name? I'm like, what? What do I need a stage name for? Like, my name is Chris Cream. My mom named me Chris Cream. Like, try wearing that and having everybody everywhere go, Chris Cream. Say your whole name everywhere you go. Like, I can't just be Chris. So when the hood just adopted Cream, it was like, cool. Like, the hood just says that. Mm-hmm. But most people say my whole name or it's Chris B. Cream. They always want to do that extra stuff. Always. Yeah, for real. Always.
I never even thought about that.
I can see that. I can see that, though.
I can see it, but I didn't even put that together, though.
Yeah. So from that context right there, I'm my mom's youngest son. I'm the fourth of 5 children. Okay. I have a younger brother. Shout out to my youngest brother. And my older brother say that, we all are one unit. But inside of the answer to that question, when I stepped into the public space of entertainment, I had to ask myself, well, who am I getting ready to present to the world in terms of that? One thing I know I am is her youngest son. Everything else will come. So all the other titles that people throw on me or the lights that God allows to shine through me and gives me a quote unquote new lane, I just take that as it comes. I'm my mom's young. I'm a product of my dad, my mom, my brothers, my grandfather. I'm Camden. I'm that.
That was a good answer.
Thank you.
All right, so as we know, you're an actor.
Yes.
So when did you decide to become an actor, and like what made you?
Damn, that's wild. All right, so if I make a bunch of references to my mom,
Okay, it's all right.
It's because I just lost her in November.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So in the sense of that, I remember being like on stage as a young kid, like stage plays, be it at church or school or one thing on her curly hair, and my mom always had us in suits, clean, looking like little deacons and stuff like that early.
Okay.
So somebody always had you in some kind of production somehow or another. My dad was a Baptist minister, so he would always have me on the mic singing church songs and stuff. So there was always a presence to putting him up there and make it, even if I didn't want to do it, there was a reluctancy to it growing up. But I think there was a grooming that was happening without them even knowing that was happening, because it's not something that they knew. I don't think they foresaw me being this level of actor or one thing or another in entertainment. But it started as early as my childhood, and I've like always been on stage throughout middle school. Then I stopped, was more into sports by high school. Okay. And when I got out, went to college for a bit, work job and all that kind of stuff, and then knocking on doors. There was no internet, anything like that, and I'm just knocking on doors of well, what if? Like, and going into spaces, go to Philadelphia, start getting into Mike Lemon casting, start taking a couple acting classes over there, and wound up getting in a movie or two. And, you know, that was early on. That was, like I said, there was no internet when all that was happening.
Right.
So.
Oh, wow. So when you, the acting classes, like did they like you doing your acting classes and they got you in some parts? You said you had a couple roles. Were they in? So
with casting, with any kind of casting, be it independent casting or for majors, who you know, what you know matters. So if you're in the same room over and over and over, and I see you putting in work, then eventually I'm like, damn, you want to try this? And then bring you over here on this, and then you elevate to one thing or another. If I see you have a capability to have a speaking role or blah, 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 then it's like, wow, I saw you had a light to even be on this side over here versus that side. You're over here now. Now let's try talking, because I could see the role as a casting agent. Let me put you as a radio DJ in a morning show in an episode and have you doing that head nod as the... It's there. I just made you a character in the television show right there in front of you. Just right there in front of you, right? You see what I'm saying? That's what what a casting agent will do if you're in the right spaces and they can see your potential.
But what I got out of it is, like you just said, it just gives you just gave a great example why it's important to always put your best foot forward, because you never know who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
If you put any foot forward, your best foot eventually will come. Google wasn't Google when it dropped. The Google we have now, the internet we have now, it wasn't what we have now.
That's true.
It was something else that they threw out there in as is state.
So growth.
And said, all right, well, let the people tell us. Yo, put this on there. It'd be great if you had this. Yo, if y'all put that, and all them keywords fed the algorithm, and they just listened, as opposed to being offended by the critiques of what it wasn't. They just took it and said, all right, you said this, you said that, you said this, and they made that product that. Now everybody's addicted to Google. Everybody's on the internet because they just took to what the people said about it. Are you hating it? You hating it for these reasons? I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna take all those words away.
Yeah.
Here, that's anything. Put it out there.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, so let's talk about Camden High. So
Camden High?
Yeah, you were in plays and theater in Camden High. You were not?
I played sports in Camden High.
It was just sports.
Yeah, I did plays and stuff in middle school. I left the stage alone by the time I got to Camden High.
Was it because of sports?
Yeah.
What sports did you play?
Football, wrestling.
I just really assumed that you were in it. It's because you really talk about Camden High and how much you loved it. Yeah. And I would have thought that
Camden High for me, I love Camden High. Like
I know you do.
That's my purple and gold to the core. Yeah. If you went there, you know what I mean. You can't even escape that, and especially for a certain area, you can't. It is what it is. Mm-hmm.
So you were a star athlete at Camden High.
I was an athlete. We was a bunch of stars. I didn't even say I was a pretty decent pretty decent wrestler. I could kick somebody's ass.
Okay.
I got 6 minutes in me right now. Yeah, I ain't no tough dude, but I know how to handle what I handle. You know, my grandpa was a boxer and all those. So just being physically fit and into different things. My brother, again, I got a brother who's right next to me. He's MD, PhD. He went to Dartmouth. This motherfucker's so super smart. Super smart. But he's a rock. When I say he's a rock, this motherfucker is... He take his shirt off and be embarrassed. He's a shredded wheat. He's like no body fat. Like, yo, boy. Like, you see what I'm saying? So even me right now, when people look at me and go, yo, you're in good shape, Chris. Yeah. I'll be like, yeah,
think about him.
You have no idea what I'm competing with in my head or what I'm either trying to keep up for my grandsons or in my head thinking about my brother. Right. My two older brothers are in pretty good shape. But my one brother who's right next to me, yeah, cat. He's another level.
Okay.
That's funny.
Well, listen, we're gonna take a quick break real quick, all right?
Can I help you?
I read your article about Richie Rodriguez. I figured anyone who has the balls to write about the biggest drug dealer in the city shouldn't have a problem writing about my sister.
This is Rose Fiore. She runs New Jersey.
You really think she's that powerful?
You don't?
9 a.m. tomorrow morning, the governor's going to sign an executive order approving a state takeover of the city effective immediately.
You got them estimates yet? Gonna see the blueprint?
Well, I did, but we have a problem.
What about Sal and the estimates?
You and me, we need to talk, all right?
And there's no one else you know that could get rid of those buildings.
Nobody I trust but Grimes.
Who do you think I am, David Copperfield?
I'll tell you what, throw Grimes a bone.
Oh, shit. Trust me now?
Okay, we are back. Again, we have Chris Cream in the building. Again, we appreciate you for coming out. We are going to hop back into it. All right, so I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I understand that you're a poet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What came first? Was it poetry or acting?
Ooh.
That's a good question, yeah.
That's really a good question. Because on the timeline, right? Mm-hmm. I've always said poets are born.
Okay.
I've always said that. So you can write poetry, but if you're a poet, it's born that way. And what I mean by that is, if you talk to poets or you listen to a poet speak linguistically, they're gonna use words like linguistically. They gonna say certain things. Certain things will come out of their mouth like, why are you talking like that? Like, I can't help this shit. You know, and unless you like shake yourself out of it, you can't necessarily change how you see the world and all those different things. The poetry I was introduced to poetry and acting probably around the same time in childhood. Shout out to my cousin Tish, Bryna Bates, Sean Marie, whole nother heavy person. Went to Africa with Clinton when he was in the office. She was in his press. My cousin, yeah, she introduced me to poetry. I could tell you, yeah, you looking at me like, yeah. I get that's a whole nother beer. Like, yeah, my people's strong. My DNA straight, believe that. That's a whole nother being right there.
People.
Yeah. Like I could tell you some stories, like really. But she's 2 years older than me, and she's learning about Langston Hughes and poetry at this point in time. She's particularly learning something. She would come home from school and play school with me as her younger cousin. So I got to sit down and learn what she's been learning at school, or she's teaching me this and that. I got to sit like, yo. So now I'm actually absorbing these poems from Langston Hughes like early, and there was something about this one particular one, I Too, by Langston Hughes, that stuck with me early, and like as a kid, like, what? I don't know if you know that poem, but I Too Sing America, I Am the Darker Brother. They send me to the kitchen to eat when company comes, but I laugh, eat well, and grow strong. tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes and no one will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too sing America. I'm like, damn.
Okay.
Now, I learned that as a kid, and I'm the youngest kid at this point and would feel like, you know, like, had my own battles from that position. So something about that resonated in me. And as a result of that, that poet in me was like born. It was birthed. And the interest in all of it. So I was bad too. I was like a bad kid. So
No, not you.
Not the athlete, actor,
Oh,
director.
yeah, not the athlete, you know, everything. Yeah.
well, what do you implicate? What you getting at? I was bad. I would get into stuff like they told I was that wait for your dad to get home kid. You know, wait for your dad to get again. Damn. So in those moments of waiting for my dad to get home, the anxiety, I would go on my own punishment. Nobody would make me do this, but I go under my bed to hide from the world. But I take a dictionary and a notepad with me, and I would just be rewriting the dictionary.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't even know why I did that. Like, but it was
It's
just
like you was putting yourself on punishment.
The right?
what was I?
No, you were, but
Right.
a kid would think that.
But think about it. Back then, right, when we was kids, they would make you do things like called prints. You know what prints are? You know what prints are?
No.
You know what prints are? Prints. If you say you got caught cursing in school, your teacher would say, "Oh, Sadell, you cursing? What did you say?" "Okay, I will not say any more curse words."
Oh,
but you
okay.
write it
And write it like
100
100 times. Yeah, I got
More
you.
than 100. Keep flipping the pages. Flipping the pages. Flipping them. And you out here, make it neat. And like, Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
I
I don't even know why y'all just made me think of Prince right there. Damn, this is wild, y'all. This is like therapy, right?
I mean, no, I remember having
Well,
to do
that's a good thing.
Nah, my mom made me do that. I just didn't know it was named Prince. So.
Yeah, I didn't
Prince.
know it was called
The
Prince
school was called Prince. Like print it, because you're printing everything out. Prince.
Yeah.
You printing that shit. Print it.
Wow.
Ask me to get us out of this childhood trauma. But I was writing poetry and all those different things and writing the dictionary. So that was the discipline of writing the dictionary because we was already writing prints and stuff. So making my own little, something to do and teaching myself a word a day type thing was just something that became fun.
Okay.
So that was all that was.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm on stage as an actor in different plays. I'm in different presentations as a kid. Probably slightly earlier than that, maybe within 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you talk about, you got in a lot of trouble as a youth.
You're a problem. You're a problem, girl.
And the reason why I can see that because you talk about, being that line stepper, we've talked. But I actually want to fast forward. Were you arrested at one point?
Never.
Never? Never in no trouble?
I ain't say that.
Okay.
I ain't never been caught for nothing.
Never been caught for nothing.
I ain't never been on nobody's paper for nothing. Ain't
Nothing.
nobody- and even my closest run-in with the law, other than like little county step for a ticket or two, in another lifetime, when they come by and drop a card in your door and say, "Yo, you need to talk to us." I'm like, "Why I need to talk to y'all?" Like, "All right, well, I'm gonna come talk to y'all." And when I went to go talk to them, they was like, "Yo, you such and such and such and such." I'm like, "Yo," because there's always been an actor in me. I told you since I was 7. I've had certain. So when he asked a certain scenario, I was like, "Oh shit, you saw that?" So I was like, "Brother, you get ahead, and it's like, "Oh yeah, you." The charisma came on in the room. And they was like, "Eh." Like,
No, I had to check.
So from that any kind of street perspective, anything I did on my own. Like I never, you know what I mean? I know everybody everywhere, but I never, you know what I mean?
No, I just had to check. I wanted to see.
No, never been jammed up. Never been jammed up.
Okay.
My grandfather's a legend, man. Listen, man. All right. Where's my camera? That's my camera? To my family, I'm sorry about this. Y'all might not have never heard this before. But if we weren't Jersey. Now I'm looking at my camera. If we weren't Jersey Joe's people, my grandfather got a statue on the waterfront. If I was not a descendant of that right there, if I was just any Joe Schmo, bloodline. If I was Larry the Plumber's Joe bloodline, the actor in me, the clown in me, the opportunity, I probably would have took the same name if that was my name right there and did porn. Just on the whole, like, cause it was like what? You like what? You asking about the wild part? So I'm giving you reality of what could have been in the era of walking in, knocking on doors, and opportunities, and like.
So you could have been the first Diddy party.
You could have created it.
What's a Diddy party?
You tell me.
You said it.
Yo.
You ain't expect him to throw that. He said, "Well, what is a Diddy party?"
It's a wild party.
Who is he fucking with?
It's a wild party. You know what I mean?
How do you know this?
I feel like you've been studying me or something. Oh no! I'm trying to get something out. No,
Damn, let me ask you a question.
Every now and then, you know.
Let me ask you a question. This Diddy party shit. In this building, do you have any kind of lubes and baby oils? Look at his face, camera.
Do I lie?
I think everybody got Vaseline or something. Everybody got Vaseline.
Nah, I didn't ask you about Vaseline.
That's about it.
Move on.
I'm cracking up. That's too funny.
Yo. Now, so let's get into Beloved. Was Beloved your first major film?
Beloved, yes. Again, that was one of those invisible doors. That was, again, being in the room and in the spaces of a Mike Lemmon and the Mike Lemmon casting, being in those classes, being astute enough to be able to know the differences between the different mediums and how to take direction, either as background actors or principal. The teachings are all happening in the same spaces. Okay. You have to know what the cues are from the director and what's happening on set to be able to present yourself as a professional in those environments, because otherwise I'm like, yeah, what are you doing here? Get this guy out of here.
Did you find it hard at first with the acting classes to be able to get that? It was just a natural?
Nah, I walked in the door thinking I was ready for Denzel's spot. Not dead ass.
That's what's up.
Like dead ass.
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to have that type of...
Like if we ever get in the ring, Mr. Washington, with all due respect, you gonna know you was in here with one. I don't care what level I'm on, I can go. I'm nice. And God gave me that. And being around quality people and being in the room with the Clifton Powell, this one or that one, and them go, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but it's people in Hollywood that can't do what I seen you. That's a quote from Clifton me. That can't do what I seen you just do with that character. In a week's time, I saw what you did with it. That's a direct quote. I ain't tooting my own horn. Wow. That's what people like him have said to me. So
that's dope for real.
So to be able to transition that from childhood to and then wanting to be at home. I got my kids here. Be at home because my kids are here, and my life is here. My roots are here. That's not afraid to fly, because I could go elsewhere and be that. But then how do I help this right here?
Now, yeah, that's true. Now, that movie had, like...
Which one, Beloved?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't even give you an answer about Beloved.
No, I know you did.
Slave movie, back in the day, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey's feet look like she's a slave.
But it's not even just...
They big, her feet big.
You talking about her feet big?
Yo, you all... Yo, stop. Yo.
I walked past Oprah, I seen her feet as just close. I was like, man. Damn. Puppies.
You don't think it was just for the movie, you know what I mean?
All right, so look. The Hollywood tent, you get out of them, boop, boop, boop. You come out, we dress like this. You go into the Hollywood tent, they take the clothes off, they put the burlap shit on you, they take the shit, they put it on your teeth. It's a lot of extra shit they do. When you come out the other side, you don't look like this no more. You ain't chunky. You ain't none of that shit, right? You look like a burly slave that they been, oh boy, you look like you can move all the barrels. That's what you look like. That's how you look coming out. So it's like, all right, boom. Get on the other side. And you see Oprah walking by. It's like, hey, Miss Winfrey, how you doing? And her feet are out. She walking barefooted.
Oh, barefoot. Okay.
Barefooted. She barefooted, but she got a bare foot. Like, her foot is wide. Like, they can't put makeup on your foot to make it wide. Even if your foot is pretty, the foot is pretty, it's wide. I was like, that's a big foot. No disrespect, Miss O. You make a big print. You make a big
You don't
print.
think
Hopefully,
like they made her foot look swollen or anything? Like, I don't know.
what you saying? They gave her gout?
Yeah, I mean,
So they just set her
I
off.
gave her gout.
that's right, you know. I mean, it's,
Her foot was just wide at the across.
Oprah's foot is big, okay?
that's a man. I mean,
And Danny Glover is very tall, and his hand is like this long.
so listen, with that cast, I mean, you know, you have Hill Harper, you have Kimberly Elise, and many others. Like, I know at that time they probably weren't the names that they are now, but you know, I'm sure they had some type of momentum in that point because some of them been in some movies at that point. So what is it like being around that much talent?
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember that.
Because I wonder if you're thinking that you walk in the room and you're knowing you. I'm thinking you're thinking like I'm better than everybody here.
No. But being who my grandfather was, and being that I've been in rooms with legends like since I was born, because I'm with Jersey Joe. He's a statue. We in places. I don't even recognize. Okay. To be in them spaces with and see a Danny Glover right there, I know Danny Glover's a legend in my 20s from the rip. I'm looking like that's Dan, that's Oprah, that's Brian. I know who they are. Mm-hmm. I'm looking like, oh wow. But like you said, the others may not have been who they became, still arcing and things of that nature. Older black lady, she was in a lot of different movies. I can't think of her name. She was sitting right here smoking Newports dressed as a slave. I can't wait for these motherfuckers to have. Yes, you know what I'm talking about? I'm standing next to her. On the scene where Beloved comes out and she's naked on the porch. I'm standing right next to her. She out here with a Newport slave the fuck out her mouth because this cameras ain't rolled, so she's smoking. She talking shit, heavy shit. So when people themselves in those moments, that's the fun part. Mm. That's the fun part right there for me. Like, oh, nah, you being real. This is genuine. You don't want the cameras rolling that off of this shit right here. That's the fun part. So to answer that question about being on that particular set, that in my experience with Danny Glover, you know, having him telling about taking the moment as it's happening, and understanding what that meant and what I was doing prior to that. I think I told you previously about the size of the strawberries and the tree lines and all that, and how I came in thinking, and the antsiness of a young 20-some-odd-year-old me in the moment. Like, then they do all the burlap and clothing and change you, and then you're like, oh shit, I could really be a slave. And like, no, really, because it was a transition. I was telling him previously that when we left out of Philly to go down there, we dressed like this. We on a bus, the big white buses, like the big boys. Mm-hmm. Like, oh shit, you arrived, you on the big dog. Dang, come on. Man, riding out. We talking on the bus, anything, we chilling. Fall asleep on the bus, wake up. Fall asleep on the bus, wake up. Boom. That's how long of a ride it is, you know what I mean? It's dark, when you leave, dark 30 when you leave from Philly, and you get into whatever part of Virginia, the top part of Virginia they shoot now. And you wake up, and the sun's not even up yet, and they pull these buses up, and the huge white tents out there. It's like, yeah. Boom. So you get out and they bring you right in and they taking all this shit off you and they putting you in. You sitting in chairs. They got the craft services over there. When I'm talking the strawberries, they were like this, the size of this microphone. They were huge. Like everything was like this immaculate. Top shelf. Everything. The whole day. Carving stations. Everything. Top shelf. So you come out the other side and you dressed as a slave and you look and go, wait a minute. What happened to the cute shit you had on? Yo, you look like you really picked cotton, shit. Man. The shit that's about to happen to you in slavery is bad. Oh, God. But you have that moment and then you were out here, Danny Glover's over there, Oprah's over there shooting. And I'm antsy. I'm still this bad dude. He's talking. She keep trying to get me to talk about. And I'm like, no, that's Danny Glover over there. That's Danny Glover. That's Danny fucking Glover. Meanwhile, Cat, his size is going, yo, you better leave him alone. They told us don't bother him. I'm like, man, I've been in rooms with legend my whole life. Mm-hmm. That's one. I need to talk to him. I think you should leave him alone. When he said that, Camden kicked in. Camden was like, man, the most they can do is send you back home.
Right.
I told you. Went to sleep on the bus, woke up, went to sleep on the bus. They not sending me back home today. I'm not going back home now. You know what? F you. Boom. Now I'm speed lining. I'm going across this field. He's about 75 yards away from me. But I'm beelining because he didn't piss me off. He pissed me off saying this. I'm like, oh, God, and Camden is in my ear. And I'm like, ugh. So now, you ever seen the Jeffersons?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You remember how George Jefferson walked?
How you walk, yeah.
Well, that's how I was walking. Dressed as a slave. In the field by myself.
Okay.
Tell me. I'm Judy Cream's son. Like, I got all these voices. Everything you ever heard in the black movie, like from somebody talking shit to themselves, prepping. I had shit like that going on in my head, going across this field. And before you know it, I'm right here at the end of the I'm like, oh snap. The reality of this, the George Jefferson stroll is extremely fast. You really want to get somewhere and do the stroll, I'm telling you, you're going to get there. So now I'm here and I'm like, in the bathroom's behind him. I'm like, oh wow, I'm here. What do I say? Voice goes, go to the bathroom. Another voice goes, you know damn well you can't. I'm like, ugh. Excuse me, because I'm right here. I'm this close now. He's sitting up on the table, picnic table, his feet are on the bench. I go, excuse me. He had a big brim hat on. He looked around. I said, there's 1,000 people behind you, all a bunch of him. I said, they told me to come over here. So I ain't even finished. You laugh. They told me to come. You know, yeah, some dumb shit. Yeah, I'm saying some pure dumb. They told me to come over here so you can introduce yourself to me.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I told him.
Just word vomit.
That's what I said to him. He literally laughed from his diaphragm. He goes, well, I'm Danny Glover. And he sticks out of there. I said, you know what, man? I couldn't think of nothing else to say. I just know a legend was in front of me. Yeah. You're sitting over here peaceful and serene. And do you mind if I take a moment? And he goes, nah, have a seat. So I sit down for a minute. And I explained to him, I said, I'm over here and I'm looking at you. And you're calm and serene. And I'm over here and I can't stand still. I'm answering my own skin. Mm-hmm. How'd you get like that? Mm-hmm. He goes, well, I learned to take in the moment as it's happening a long time ago.
Okay.
The voices in my head was talking the whole time. And this one on this side, you see where I'm pointing? Because I remember specifically where the part of the brain was going, ding, ding, ding. It goes, same way I remember who you were. When I went, ding, I know who you are. It's, so this goes, that's the pearl, stupid. That's the pearl, stupid. Wow. That's what the voice said. Like, that's what you came to get. I'm like, damn, that ain't even a full conversation. Like, I couldn't even act. When I heard that voice call me stupid, like, what else you gonna do? It was like, shit to get off the pot. It was basically with my own. And I might have asked him one or two more things, got up, strolled to the bathroom, and slowly walked back over there in space. But I've held that story forever because I told you about the tree line. I told you about sleeping. I told you about the strawberries. I was literally taking in those moments. But I had no lyric for my own life and eyesight until he put it there.
Okay.
So
I was already doing it.
So did you chill out? Were you still antsy after that?
No. Okay. Because it gave me perspective.
So you took everything in.
It gave me perspective to get through. And it didn't necessarily. It took me probably 10 or 15 years later to recognize that I literally was living how he said it. Because, again, I remember the bus ride. I remember what Cats had. I remember the conversations. I remember every detail of it. I was already doing it. I was writing it down mentally along the way. So I was taking in the moment as it was happening. That's the only way. I could only hope. But I still wasn't appreciating it because I'm looking like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Like, nah.
So y'all didn't have a full-fledged conversation? Like,
Hell no.
Okay.
I wasn't about to get sent back to Camden. What's wrong with you? I asked him a couple of questions more. I went to the restroom and I went back across, had another piece of fruit or whatever out the tent and, kept it pushing.
How you felt after that? You felt good?
I felt like this big chest. Nah, you don't understand. Boy, me and him talked the whole time. And he was burly like you, but he was top heavy. He was Cock Diesel. I see him on Law and Order from time to time. His chest was up. So now I back home. His chest was down like, damn, nigga, you did it. Like, yeah, nigga, I did it.
So after Beloved, what's the next movie?
I did a couple of like smaller extra stuff like that. At that point in time, that's pretty much all I really knew how to do. I never had an agent. Even to this day, I've never really had an agent per se call me for bookings or what have you. I've talked to different agents at different points, but stuff comes to me. Like even when I put acting and everything away and was suffice to being a dad with a job, stuff kept coming. Like, why is this here? Why is this here? Then I turn around here and the same thing will be over here. Then I turn away from it and then come over here. I don't even know you. And you bringing it. Like, why are you bringing this to me? So that's how Chase Street came to me. Chase Street came to me just like that. Like, it kept coming to me from strange places. And then when I even showed up, it was like, yeah, I was going to call you.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about Chase Street too. So the character you played was Grimes, right?
Yes.
How, like, do you think it was hard to play that character? Was it hard for you? Or, like, it just kind of came?
Grimes is based on a real person.
Right.
And but I don't know if you know who Bokeem Woodbine is, but Bokeem Woodbine was initially slated to play Grimes. Yeah, he was initially slated to play. He was going to come with Cliff, but he was booked at the point in time when they were doing the initial shoots. When I showed up, I was like maybe him kind of guy, right? And even within that context of that, Cliff tried to play me out that day. Chris Cream, I know you got fucked with growing up, didn't you? No.
Okay.
No, I didn't, Cliff. No. But this is at the audition point. Oh, wow. So now we're still at the audition. This is at hello. Like, so as we're doing this, I'm holding the paper and I'm looking at the words of what's said on script. And he smacks it out of my hand. Fuck that script. You the cop. Well, damn. Can I at least know what the cops say? You the cop! Like, fuck what the cops say! Be the cop! Well, goddamn. That was electricity.
You should have gave him the Miranda rights as soon as he said
Nah, basically what he's telling me is, whatever the scenario is, the cop fucking wins.
Okay.
Use that arrogance. Now, I'm getting back to your question right here. Then, so that was one.
Okay.
Then, I was at a football game. A Camden High football game, and I'm standing away from 2,000 people. They all on the sides. They over here. I'm at the end. It's like 4 people over here. I'm leaning on the fence. Me and one other dude, the current mayor of Camden, in fact. I'm leaning on the fence, watching this game, and he steps back, and out of nowhere, somebody steps in, and when I tell you, we kind of close right here, right? Nah, this guy came on. He bumped me.
Oh, wow.
And kept looking at the game through the end zone. So now, I don't like being touched. Like, that right there was kind of disrespectful. That's why he said I'm intrusive.
Okay. I don't
That's why he said I'm intrusive. So, like, you seen I hit him already. I don't be caring.
I don't look at it.
Same way on set.
So being that, I'm like that. When he came and did that to me, and he didn't acknowledge my presence. He just stood and he's looking at the game. He's slightly shorter than me, around my size, and he's looking at the game. And I'm getting pissed off now. I'm getting heated. Because now I've turned my full body like this. This is him.
Okay.
He looking at the game. You see how long this pause is right here?
So he's not looking at you, he's looking that way.
He looking at the game.
Gotcha, okay.
Follow me on there, right? I step back. Hey, yo. Ain't this such and such the character that I'm getting ready to play on this movie? This guy go, yeah, this him, Creamy. I'm like, damn, like, you casual. Don't Don't you find it a little bit odd that out of 2,000 people in all this space, he came and he's standing right next to me right now? He goes, why you say that? I said, bro, you with the writer of this shit every day. This movie ain't out yet. You're with him every day. He goes, oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. So now I'm back over here. I'm still looking. Because he never looked away. And I'm thinking about the complexity of this dude. I'm like, yo, you ain't look at me. You bumped me. You went to jail. You was a cop. You robbed drug dealers. You snitched to a cop. You did a lot of shit to probably a lot of people that's at this game right now, including bumping me. You never looked over your shoulder at nobody. Wow. So between Cliff going, you the cop, and me seeing this shit right here in front of me, this arrogance of this little son of a bitch. Anyway, how are you? That those two things right there gave me everything I needed to know about Grimes.
Okay.
So he did. This nigga used to get high with crack whores. He would ride up on a horse. Let me make sure I'm on mic.
Yeah.
He would ride up on the block on a horseback. Don't none of y'all move. Y'all know what it is. Everybody stand on your money. Stand on your shit. Everybody stand. What? This the block. This is Camden in the heyday of the bullshit. The heyday of the bullshit. This little motherfucker top cop doing all this crazy shit. Everybody whole block standing on their shit. He'd go up under their feet, take their shit, get back on the horse and fucking leave. He ain't lock nobody. That's one story right there in him. Like, so I saw him the other day.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, do you want to get locked up or robbed? Like,
and that was his point.
You know what I mean?
And that was his point.
Okay.
Now, mind you, he would take this shit and go do whatever he did with it. Get tied with chicks, go open another block. He never took that shit back to the precinct. He wasn't moving like that. He wasn't moving like that. Then he get all kinds of anxiety. He was
and he's not remorseful at all.
Y'all, what's crazy is I'm in the car. This is a true story. This just happened 3 days ago. I'm in the car with one of my buddies, and he pulls over at the stop sign, and he jumps out of his car, jumps back in, jumps out of his car, and his battery dies. The battery dies while we sitting there at the stop. So I was like, damn, bro, I jumped in your car and your fucking battery dies right quick. We sitting there for 2 seconds, and around the corner comes this little son of a bitch talking about, Cream, need to jump? I know he does, but damn, where the fuck you come from?
Right,
Yeah, he just popped up out of nowhere, the jumper cables and the whole... The same little dude, the same...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
How tall? I've never seen him. How tall is he? You said
I'm 5'10", Jeff's probably 5'9".
Okay.
But he's like this, so he looks 5'8".
He looks smaller.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
And this little guy doing all this stuff.
Right.
Because Jeff boxed. Jeff, when he got out the car, he was coming from some boxing shit.
Okay.
So, all right. So, through that interaction, that helped you play your part.
Yeah. That was easy at that point because it was like, you ain't dead? You got... So me as the actor, great way to bring that back. Me as the actor, the student, always being a sponge and taking in the moment as it's happening, I'm looking at all of this and then dissecting all the stories I've heard and some of the shit that I don't know. And this is going, you still right here? And you don't give a fuck?
Right.
Wow. And you was getting high. Now, me as an actor, it's like, God, I can go from a uniform to a crackhead, and be in and out boxing all through you. That's a lot of arc. Write this shit. You see what I'm saying? Write this guy, write this. So when they were, y'all like Chase Street, I used to bark at him on Chase Street because his hands was tied. Okay. I was like, me as an actor, like, come on, man, I know what Jeff did. I know what he was doing. Like, I know his stories. Y'all we ain't go far enough yet. Like, nah, we got it. They coming. Season 2, it's coming. It's coming. We're gonna write it. So we do have a spinoff, and it's called Grimes. Oh, Grimes is coming. Grimes. We already shot it. We already shot it. That's in the pipeline. It's coming right now.
When do you think it'll be out by?
I don't even speak on that. I don't speak on that. I'll put it this year. I'll say 2025. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely 2025.
Summer or fall?
How many push-ups you do today?
Winter?
How many push-ups you do today?
Actually, I did a mile walk. So summer or fall?
I'm gonna put you in contact with the producers of that one there and let you.
I already have T Black number.
So you need to ask them, bro. You need to ask them. I only speak on the things I'm hired on. Even in the context of that right there, like I play my part.
Oh man,
I play my part.
All right, so okay. Can you answer this? Are you guys going to do a premiere at a theater, or are you
As far as I know.
Okay,
yes.
you are going to do. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's the next one? Elementary.
Yeah, Elementary was a fun movie.
Okay.
That was a fun movie. That was a fun movie to do. That was well received. Shout out to Arlen Entertainment, Terrence and his whole squad and crew. Shout out to everybody who was in that film with me. Big Daddy Kane, OG Bobby Johnson, what's the man's name? Glenn Plummer.
Yeah.
They were cool people to work with.
Okay.
Definitely, interesting movie, suspense thriller.
It was well received.
Yes.
It was well received.
Yes. It was. It definitely was. And you never know with indie projects how it's going to. But I'll tell you this: like if I come on set, personally, if I come on set and I don't like your cameras or I don't like something that's like, oh, what you shooting with? I look at everything. What they got out here? What we doing? Okay, it don't have to be the biggest, chunkiest, this, that, and the third, but it got. I'm looking at certain mechanics of what, because I know every set I go on, be it a major and minor. What they got? Oh shoot! I'm on Marvel. Look at this cannon they using on Marvel from the independent, and then I go on Independence where they trying to do stuff and everybody's speaking through the same boom. I'm like, oh no, I can't be here for this.
Right.
I can't stay for this because you haven't upgraded your production, and it'll make you seem like you being bigger than something. Like, but nah, I can't. I'm not going to downgrade what I've done.
You have your brand.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. So what was your question? I'm sorry.
So he was asking you about Elementary.
Elementary, they shot the shit out of Elementary. When the camera worked, the cameras they had out, the crew they had, even though they went through the ups and downs and the beefs on set, and that happens.
Yeah.
They definitely did a great job putting that together. It took a long time to get out of post. It was a long. Film producers, filmmakers, be careful when you're sending your hard drives out to editors that aren't in-house that you have, because anything can happen with your work at that point. You don't know what another person's life be lifing, and if life ain't life in the right way for somebody and they need meds and they got your hard drive and they across the sea, oh bro, you could be a minute. That's the story of how long it took Elementary to get back from being in Great Britain, getting edited by the person who was over there. Wow. They went through a whole bunch of mental changes and held the project like pretty much captive for like a long time.
What's a long time?
Over 1.5 years in post over there. It was over there for a long time, and they was fighting to get it back, fighting.
And that was the only copy they had.
It was the fullest copy because you had some hard drives that were incomplete. So you didn't have as much stuff to the movie on, So yeah, it was a lot, but they eventually got it, and so you saw the film. They shot the shit out of it,
but
everybody did their job as actors.
I had no idea that happened. Yeah,
right,
bro.
The backstory to everything is like
the backstories.
You never
I can tell you backstories about the hard drive at Chase Street.
I can imagine.
And it's not anybody's fault other than life be life, and situations happen, and you got to trust the process along the way of growing and learning. Unless you have everything in house, and it's hard to wear every hat. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that and actually stay functional.
No, that's true. That's true. So let's go into your next film. Would that be Dreams to Reality, or would that be Sons of Sin? Or I'm talking about film, not documentaries, though.
So, last shot. That made me go filmography type thing.
Well, just the main ones.
Shit. Scam City, Last Shot, Elementary. Dude, I come and go to work. Like if it's I come and go to work. What we doing? Like I've literally gotten off this set, going to that set, and be like, who was I supposed to be today? Sometimes it could be we got what we got. Sons of Sin. Obviously, I didn't take a role in Sons of Sin on camera, strategically, because I wanted to be more hands on with the crew. So when I look at of all of my projects, honestly speaking, I feel when I'm on camera, that's one thing. But when I see somebody who I either casted or I showed the craft and they doing what they do, I get geeked up.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, I get geeked up off that.
Because it's something that you build and that you put together. You was able to think the process through and see it in someone else. And I actually think that's like
I'm still thinking films as he's saying that.
That's a great gift to have. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think having gifts, we're supposed to give them. They were given to us. We were supposed to empty the tank. If you leave here and you ain't empty the tank, God gonna be like, "What the fuck was you doing?" So like you, if you got gifts and you want to explore them, tap out. Yeah, I mean, live it. That's what you came here for. You're a creator by creation. That was you put here to procreate, be it a thing, a person, an entity, something to give back to this universe. That's what your energy, your vibration is supposed to bring forth. So if I can help somebody else who walks into the same room as me, that means we got a similar energy because we're in a similar space. So, okay, who are you? What you looking for? That's how I can even remember who your cameraman is, because I remember when he came into a space. Oh, I remember you. Yeah, I remember what your energy was because you came into a space that we were already creating. You know, that feeling. So, like, all right, you popped into here. What you do? Okay, all right, I got it. Even if you don't know who I am, I know who you are. You feel me? And that, again, that's part of the same gift. That goes with casting, anything like that. Being able to look at the potential of, because that's all anything is.
You definitely seem to stay as a student. You know what I mean, to the art.
You got
to.
Yeah. You have to. Man, Bruce Lee said, "Be water, my friend." I live by certain shit, like I hear it, it's like, oh no, I got that. I got that. The rigid tree snaps when the wind blows. I'm gonna leave that there. Let that marinate. Don't fly by that. The rigid tree snaps when the wind blows.
So Sons of Sin. Sons of Sin is it's one of my favorite movies right now. You know, out of the movies.
Shout to Slip, shout to T Black, shout to Meese, Supreme Cinema, whole team.
Can you go into
Mad Lives?
Mad Lives, yes. Can you go into how, you know, you got started into that movie?
Again, we were all in the studio. We had the building, and we all wore different hats on every set of every film we were working on at that point. Let me see, maybe longer now. About 5 years ago, when we got into that room collectively together, there was a lot of like pots falling, like clang, 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 iron sharpening iron, clang, 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 trying to figure out the play.
Yeah.
But if you know anything about iron sharpening iron, that's how the blades become a Sons of Sin. So when that banging was going on, that was us in that think tank, crafting out what movies we were going to write about, do, shoot, cast, and project forward. We had a board on the wall, and it had every idea we would think, and we would sit around blowing and talking movies, concepts of movies, and we would just throw them in the air and be like, that one sticks. And then we would write out what we would think, and then we would write the movies, and then shoot the movies, and we'll cast the movies and shoot the movies. The production aspect of it goes into who you know. Again, being able to get certain people, certain places, certain things is just the time you've put into the craft and how far is your reach and or your wallet. So
how far your wallet is?
Everybody got a price, bro.
Give me the bag. Give me the bag. I'm gonna make the best movie.
So with that goes with every production. So we crafted out a few documentaries as well as Sons of Sin. I'm Deadly Council, Dreams Reality, 848. few other things happened within it. And we worked on other people's projects who hired us as a crew to come shoot A or B's movie for them.
Okay.
And in that process of time, we were building our own library of written movies. We still have a whole ammo of shit we got to shoot. But we still got projected dates out though for this movie, that movie, that movie.
That's what's up.
Slick came with Sons of Sin, and that was co-written by him and T Black. And
You're the biggest challenge in this movie. Would I say that? Or was it a challenge? Maybe, I'm sorry. I don't want to put that on you. Maybe it wasn't.
Why you do that? I'm relying on you, right? I'm glad you're here. Because when he goes to the left, I'm going to have to go like this. I'm going to go like this. Why you do that?
I don't want to go.
I'm sorry. I apologize for him.
You wasn't like this before. It was a challenge only from the standpoint of you got to bring someone else's vision to life with multiple people
And new people. So you're coaching his Slick's nephew Isaiah, but then also you have to coach your brother, who's also co-starring.
Right, absolutely. Shout out to Paulo Ali. That's my little brother. And shout out to Justin Perez, Isaiah. That's my nephew, Slick's nephew. But I feel like everybody that came through there was, my chin calls him call me the whisperer because I whisper to the actors, do this. Go do that. On set, because I'm watching, again, if I'm watching you be a disc jockey right here for a radio, but you don't have no personality, or you're a bartender and you just standing here leaning, I'm like, hey, yo, you got a bar tap, a beer? Pour that for me, bro. Be a bartender right here. I'm going to snap on you in the moment to get you to understand what that bartender really looks like as you deliver them little 3-4 lines to make it look organic and real. So they're going to go, damn, Sadell can really act. Like, yeah, because I'm going to make you really understand, like, bro, you sit at a desk and do a pod all day long, you touch buttons, why are you being stiff right now? I'm going to let you see what you do in reality to be this successfully on television. So it's easy for me to do that. Every job description I ever had in life, I picked it up like it was a role. Like, and you might be serious about, wait, you the director of this? This your shit, you run this shit? You stress, you sleep over this shit overnight? You that guy? I'm watching you too, because if I ever got to play him on TV, I'm channeling your black guy. Secrets.
No.
Always a student.
Right.
Always a student. Always a student.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how well they did as first time actors.
They were great.
Kudos to you. You did an excellent job just orchestrating that, casting that, bringing everyone in.
The synergy of the team, bro. I can't let you say that without, again, shouting out the entire team, because with Black being a director, I was only meant to cast in that.
Yeah, Thomas Friedman, Meech, Mad Labs, Slick, yourself, Isaiah, Apollo Ali, Hameen,
right,
Porter Rich, Mia Barnes, Olivia Lee, Tasman.
You know the whole.
That whole crew, right?
You've seen all the naked parts.
Big Shot.
If you know all the credits, you know all the naked parts.
Well, I'm sure you've seen them all.
I was in the room.
Yeah.
I was in the room.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was in the room of part 2. Yeah, so
you're on camera.
Yeah. But I'll say this though,
everybody's professional.
So I'm actually in part 2. I got a small role, got 3 lines. I didn't even know that I was gonna have lines. Slick said, I got a part for you, it's no lines, just a little cameo.
Yeah.
Get there, Meech's like, yo, I gotta mic you up. I said, what, I got lines? And now after hearing you, like how you go off from actors, I don't even know if I think it may have been best that you wasn't there.
So look.
It went off on you?
No, he wasn't there.
No, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a good thing.
That he wasn't, right, got you.
Because he would have been over my shoulder.
Yeah.
So
3 lines, dog.
The one night that I did come to set for Sons of Sin too, I didn't mean to do what I did in that room. Again, stuff I look back at it.
It was a learning experience.
I wasn't supposed to do that.
But it was great though. It was great for me to see it.
I wasn't supposed to do that.
It was great for me to see it though.
I was only there to facilitate the space.
No, you weren't. You was there to do what you did.
No.
It's okay.
No. Hace mi dinero means make my money in Spanish. So if I'm coming out to do something, I need to be compensated somewhere or another to just. Life don't let you just keep. I've been giving this shit away for a long time. So if we moving, and I'm not, I'll come facilitate this. But one thing that bothers me on set is if I have to actually teach you on set how to act versus just giving it to you. If we got to debate why I'm telling you something, right? And now I'm teaching you. Like, and when it's almost like an argument versus you just going, all right, Cream telling me to do this, I'm gonna just do that because he's telling me because we're moving it along. Because inside of that moment, I'm looking at where the camera's placed. I'm looking at what the DP did. You might not be looking at all that. I'm looking at where the lighting is supposed to. I've taken all this in because I've been all these hats. Mm-hmm. So you, actor, all due respect, I've been that one too. Stand right here, this is gonna make you look better. Oh, I was thinking, like, stop fucking thinking. That's when I go off.
Because you have.
That's when I go off.
You have a different view, and you're seeing the whole picture.
Because everybody else that's in the room that mattered, they like, nah, Cream got it. As you saw that night.
Yo, the energy was different.
They be like, Cream got it. Go ahead, he got it.
The energy was different. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break, okay?
What up? It's your boy Khaled. What I need y'all to do right now, I need y'all to run over to Amazon Prime and get that SOS, Sons of Sins. It's the hottest thing out in the streets right now. Go tune in with us right now, Sons of Sins.
Lifestyle might seem attractive, but most time it leads to chaos and destruction. This is a Camden story, North to be exact.
I've been talking to Big Shot. We gonna furnish whatever we buy. They got the best coke out right now. You ready for that mission?
Hell yeah. Just wish I knew more about it though. They going in there strapped for war, man. This shit's serious.
We gonna do more than just trap, you know?
Man, give me anything, man.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened? Got him!
Niggas respect the big guns. It's an intimidation factor, you feel me?
The main rule with this shit right here is you rather get caught with these motherfuckers than get caught without them.
Some wild cowboy shit, man.
So y'all motherfuckers causing havoc out in the streets, huh?
Look, man, Taino sent us. You know, to see if you want to get down with this thing of ours.
Why Taino didn't come, man? We 20 years in. Should make it happen, man. Fuck them Camden niggas, you know? You know, it's always a green light.
Hey, listen, man, we got something online for you, man. You up for it? Who it is?
All your friends is dead. What, you trying to be the next one?
I done came a long way from being broke. Just to know these streets ain't never give us hope. Thank God I was born with the hustle in me. Stay solid through the shit that broke the mother niggas.
Is that the clap that you do? No, you go like this.
No, you gotta do that. They do that when I'm filming. They be like, quiet on set.
I just know how to use the bass in my voice.
Oh, snap, man. Another shot. It's cool.
I ain't say you ain't had no bass in your voice. That was the manhood.
Oh, snap.
Said you got that little 16-year-old son, boy.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning
Hold on.
in.
He ain't ready yet.
Oh, damn.
He gave the thumbs.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
I was hoping you'd be able to use
I couldn't see.
If you can't use
Yeah,
these roast things,
okay.
I'm going to just stop. I'm going to stop until they say action. 'Cause you got to be able to use this shit.
Oh,
they got to know that this is going on.
I'm gonna bring some food next time.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, we have Chris Cream right here on the couch with us. All right, so we're going to jump back into it. So I wanted to ask you about Dreams to Reality.
Okay.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about the movie?
Dreams reality stars Shaleigh Jefferson and Carrie Hudson and Wante. Shout out to the whole cast and crew of that one, Dominique and everyone else who was involved in that film. I don't want to just keep naming names and forget anybody in particular. Shout out to Supreme Cinema again. That was an in-house project written by T. Black, Thomas Freeman, and Bashir, his brother. And they, so it was an in-house project. Sometimes we were doing other people's projects, outhouse, and then other things. You like that, huh? Other people's projects.
Oh yeah, OPP.
Are you focused right now, bro? Are you present? Danny Glover should take in the moment as it's happening. You can't be present on your phone.
I heard you.
All right,
OPP.
okay. All right, mistake.
Other people's project.
I'm with you. Danny Glover. T. Black wrote it, and it was an in-house project, and so it was a fun project to do. I did a lot of casting on that one. I was part of crew. I took a small role in that one as well. I don't act in everything that we do. At this stage, if I've done some things already, I might decide, like, yeah, get after this one. They've never done it. Let me give them a shot. Or if it's something that just doesn't align with either time or one thing or another, I might not have the opportunity to. So I don't jump at everything. I don't have to be in. I like quality over quantity.
That's dope that you don't mind being a supporting actor. Like, you don't have to just be the lead. You know, that's what I like.
Oh no, I mean it's not necessary. If you shine in a role, and I help to get you there, and we all on the same team, we going.
It's definitely
like it doesn't mean. All right, let's I'm gonna flip for a second. Now let me get back to you on this. Keep put a pin in that. Right? Let's take Atlanta for a second, right? Let's take a place like Atlanta, in a music scene, the music culture of Atlanta. Most people, when you think Atlanta, you think everybody's in that city proper. No, that's not the case. The people live on the outskirts of Atlanta, and they claim Atlanta proper as the representation. So you could be from one place or another, but if you the hot and popping, claim the A, and the whole A claiming you. Not your little small town over there, claim the A, and the whole A claiming you. We win. Detroit with their whole movie, through their movie team, that's how they moving. So it's the conglomerate. So if you shine it, they like you. Walk around what we need to do. Let's get the camera right. You know what I mean? Come on, get the bags right for it. Whoever it might be. And then your time will come. If you stay on that path and you stay going forward, you stay honing in your craft either as a cameraman, as a director, as an actor, as a writer. Eventually your script makes it to the top. Your opportunity to be that lead or that A-cam or the director of or the block, it's going to come to the top. Just stay in the race long enough. It's a marathon, quote Nick. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's real.
Okay, so back to the question.
So Dreams Reality was a fun movie to do. We did that when it was an in-house project. And what you want to know about that one in particular? Like, what can I tell you about it? Like the role? What do you want to know?
Yeah, you can tell me about the role.
Don't ask me names because when I flip characters,
That's
that should be in and out. That was I played a record exec, my manager in that one there. My co-star H. Shout out to H. Carrie Hudson did a phenomenal job. That was his first major role in that capacity. And he did a phenomenal job. He took notes on set very well. He learned extremely fast. And his potential in not only acting, but whatever he does is sky's the limit. He's a sponge. He's open to energy. He's an open book to growth. He's not a closed door kind of person. He's always smiling, and his energy is great to give and to receive. So even on the set right there, where he and I didn't know each other at that point in time, when he came on, his energy was up and popping. And he had a concept of what he wanted to do on screen, but it didn't necessarily fit on screen. Again, with acting, there's 3 different mediums, and I'm not going to give away any of those jewels because that's stuff you can come to class and get. But if you don't know what doesn't fit inside of a frame, then you're going to do too much or not enough. If I'm in that frame with you, I can't let you do that. Because it's going to look crazy for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's going if he ain't going to tell you, it's going to look crazy for us. And what are we doing? So in that moment of he and I first working together, he took notes from me extremely well and was able to pick up. And not only did he take the verbal notes from me, but he's a sponge, so he could watch and see certain things and go, okay, I got it. Okay. So going forward, when we got to future projects to work with, it was just easier and easier to not even have to speak to H on by the time we got to certain scenes or something to say, like, minimal cues.
Did y'all have a premiere for that movie?
Which one?
Dreams of Reality.
No. Dreams Reality is a woman-centered movie about a woman just going through different life and reality changes of relationships and jobs and the changes she's facing and the love triangle, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's a sequel coming to it eventually because people are like, wait a minute, y'all couldn't end it like that? Why y'all do it like that? What?
Is this going to lead to why you didn't have a premiere? Why didn't y'all have a premiere for it?
Not everything needs a premiere.
For real? Okay.
Yeah, not every movie has a premiere. Yeah, not every movie has a premiere. You don't have to do that because you got to look at.
I just thought that was it was a really good movie, big movie. I'm just surprised that it didn't for that one.
So, post-COVID, the movie industry is taking a hit. People getting to the movies you really got to drive them out. Big box office movies have to work marketing wise. Like yo, yeah, come see my movie.
Right.
Hello, Moto.
Moto acting up.
Yo, I don't.
That's because you're a weak ass director. I'd have had that shit. Shut the fuck up.
I am so embarrassed right now, yo.
You should be. You know what else should embarrass you? The goddamn bathroom over there where the mirror tried to kill me coming. I told y'all I was bringing this shit back. I said I was bringing it back, didn't I?
That's his fault.
That mirror tried to kill me when I came out the bathroom.
You been going to the gym, you all extra strong with the door handle. Gotta finesse the door handle.
No, you know why the door handle didn't work? Because you ain't had no damn paper towel there for me to wash my wet ass hand off. It was on the outside of the door. So
you got to use toilet tissue. With no paper towel, use toilet tissue.
No, it's paper towel right there.
Didn't I just tell you that if the mic is sticking out the camera, I'm leaving your production? Didn't he say I got a great memory? I'm going to tie all this shit together eventually.
So I do want to ask you about your casting company. It's called South Jersey Casting Company.
Yes.
All right. So can you tell me exactly what it is and like what do you do?
South Jersey Casting came about as a result of, again, having Supreme Cinema, having a phenomenal team of filmmakers around us. Anytime you're on a production, you've been on independent sets, you've been on major sets, you've watched movies go off, and there's always a list of names that go up the back. If you're not paying attention to those names going up the back, how'd you watch the movie?
Okay.
It's those names going up the back that make the movie. You might see the director, you might see but wait a minute, how'd those actors get in there? Somebody cast them.
Okay.
Somebody cast them. Right. So if we got a film company and there's people in the environment where there wasn't film at, then where's the door for them to go to?
Right.
Create the door. There was no door. I had to go find doors. So knowing that there's a list of names that go up the back. Sometimes I'm lighting, sometimes gaff, sometimes I'm key grip, sometimes I'm best boy. I've been every list, and I've been on major with Marvel and all that and watched what they doing. Oh, you put the tape down. Which one are you? You the key grip. Oh, you did this one. And I'll learn their names specifically on the major sets when I'm standing in, fly on the wall, same way I was with Danny Glover, taking in the moment as it's happening.
Right, okay.
Watching every part of that right there.
Okay.
So coming back home, South Jersey casting was something that was needed because people are running. I've been putting people in films. Every film I've ever been in, I've put people in.
Okay.
Like, you doing a film, it's your film, and you know I know this one or that one, or this one say I want to be in it. I'll call them and put them in it.
Okay.
But that don't mean I get casting credit over here because I had not established it. I'm just a plug at that point. And I'm being used just like giving out information. That's going back to not giving shit away like that. Like, no, I'm not giving that to you no more. I'm an entity when it comes to that, right? And I recognize my value.
as it relates to that right there. So you could appreciate it or not.
Right.
You can have subpar actors come in because you just picked this one and that one, and you practically look, or you can let them come through me and punch him in the head a couple times. You go, yo, he got you straight.
Okay.
He got you straight. You but yo, thanks for punching me in my head. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for seeing that. That I had this. Yeah, thanks for doing that to me. Yeah, you shining.
Right.
And it's fun because it could be abusive. It's not bad. It sounds.
So I could be abusive.
Nah, because my personality is gruff. I can depending on what part of the bed I woke up on. I'm never mean per se, but I'm real.
Okay.
So as real as I'm being right now, if I see like, yo, what do you?
So if you wake up on the opposite side, you're not.
I never had a bad day in my life.
Okay.
In spite of other things, like I never had a bad day in my life because I'm on this side. So in spite of anything, we can make it. So that's I got perspective.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, if you don't have perspective, that's one thing. But if I need you to do something and you in the room with me, I'm not worried about what you want to be like. You, fuck that. I'm not afraid to say that to you. Like, shit, like, thank you. Like, I don't even know you, but you didn't care about my feelings because, you got an objective over here. And you're a professional, and this is what you came here for. You're in front of me. We in our space. This is what we need. We'll talk about. Need to talk for a minute? Come on, let's have a moment.
Right.
Okay, I see what that is. And even in those moments, there's a psychological approach that I'm using as a casting agent because I'm checking. Okay, wow, I can see being able to use you here. I didn't even know you had that kind of vulnerability or range within you. But because of this moment, I got you. Now, can I get you back to work over here? Can you put that shit away? Can you put your baby girl? Let's go. And you'd be like, damn, thanks for listening. And next thing you know, we bringing gold out of them tears or out of that moment. Like Dreams Reality was one of those. Like that damn near didn't happen. Two of the actresses was ready to kill each other on set.
Oh wow.
That's a whole nother story.
That's why you said it was drama on set.
Yo, you be looking for salacious shit.
You get into that.
Oh, I know what you doing.
You know, if you say something, you got to be ready to elaborate.
Was this an Any Given Sunday type of joint?
I'm gonna need you to put your Club Shay Shay voice on. That's what you. I need you to lean in, tighten your legs up like Shannon Sharp. Lean in, do all that good. You want to do that? You want to go Cat Williams free? Give you one of them.
There we go. Listen, you said it. So you said something. You must have wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, was it LL?
What are we supposed to be doing?
So tell me about LL and Jamie.
LL and Jamie?
Yeah, you know how LL.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Damn. So.
Oh.
This podcast shit, bro. This is what they talking about. Shh.
Oh. Nah. Oh man. Go ahead.
But okay, good.
So, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I'm not usually uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable right. So the two young ladies, the lead actress and female friend at the time, she came on set with him, and there was some uncomfortable aspects to getting used to the on-screen relationship of this new actor having to be in relation. So this one over here was on some what?
Gotcha.
Was just on set and kind of uncomfortable shit, right? But this one right here got 250,000 followers on the gram. So T Black, you see that? T Black being like, yo, she got 250,000 followers. That's a hell of a T Black right there. Yeah. So he let the bullshit boil a little bit. Like, we can let that go a little bit. He got 250,000, just let it go. Fast forward, we shoot a scene, and I fell asleep when we took a break. They were doing it. I fell asleep on the couch, and I knew that there was already an underlying issue going on. It was slow in production. I'm like, you know what? I ain't even getting into that. I'm doing lighting on this one, and I got minimal responsibility. I fell asleep on the couch. Club scene. There's a bunch of people in here. Lights and everything is up. I wake back up. I'm like, yo, y'all ready? And they like, nah, we ain't getting it. And the energy's still like, wait a minute. I was sleeping, y'all didn't get this. Nate's coming up the steps. Shout out to Nate. He coming up the steps. I'm like, man, I got the ignorant part of me. Man, let me get this shit moving. I'm ready to go snap out, right? And Nate goes, nah, Chris, let it be. Don't get in that. Nah, let that go. And Black goes,
Nah. Actually, Cream the perfect person to go.
Yeah.
And when he does that kind of shit, like, you saying that? Like, you know what? Because me and him are clash and go opposite directions. So if you say that, I'm like, why are you saying that? So boom. I go to the lead actress. She ready to fly back to Atlanta. She throwing shit in. She calling her people from up here. She ready to have them come in and whoop, 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 whoop. It's a bunch. I'm like, yo. Oh, what's drama? I'm like, yo, I need you to such and such. Again, psychological moment. We bust. You see, I'm turning to you. I'm having a whole, come on, this is what I need you to do. Can you such and such? Da-da-da.
Right.
All right, Cream. Da-da-da. Appreciate you. Walk away from you. I go outside. It's freezing. It's February. It's cold as shit. Go outside. Gage is sitting there. Never seen people from like islands and they be like in that squatted down position, like real low like this. That's a scary position. Cause this is a anything can happen from here position. Like she's an international woman.
Okay.
And I come out, she got on a fur coat down to here, little clothes down up to here. She's smoking a cigarette, and she's in that position. There's one tear coming down her. One tear, it's like sitting on her face. And he's standing there. Jules, we don't have a great relationship. I don't know him that great at this point.
Right, okay.
And I go, bro, can I talk to your Wiz for a minute? And he looked at me like, please. he like, whoo, like, please, somebody. So he walks away, gives me a moment. And I'm like, hey, such and such. And she looked at me like, hey, Cream. I'm like, yo, we ain't got no beef. What's up? I'm sorry, Cream. And I'm like, such and such. Again, thinking forward, and can tell the static right here, and I ain't got nothing to do. I'm like, and now the man in me comes in. I'm cold.
Okay.
I appreciate you. That one tear that was sitting on her face went, oh, nigga, this shit just came running down her face. Like, I appreciate you, like, because I don't even know what to say. Like, I appreciate you not leaving and not turning the fuck out while that's what I was saying. I appreciate because I can see this shit real. You in full-fledged, I could kill everybody in here mode. Do you see this little? She leaning down. She got this position like. There's one tear stuck on her face. She ready to black out. She ready to black out. Like, I appreciate you not blacking the fuck out, you little dynamite. Like, she just cried and listened to me for a moment, and we got back to work, got through the scenes. There's a scene in there where I had to bring them two together in the scene and pass it. Cameras is rolling. Everybody looking like, what the?
How you do that?
I'm in the movie, so I'm using my position in the movie. I'm dancing. I'm using my position in the movie. And knowing what we need, I come off the camera, I go get the lead actress, I get her off the couch, I dance her back to the camera. They looking like, what the fuck is he doing? I could do whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Now I bring her right in front of Jay's camera, because me and Jay silent. We already moving, we're crew. Bring her right in front of Jay's camera. Jay got his mask up to here. He's an assassin. He looked at me over the shoulder. He goes, boom. I move. He got her. We got them two in the shot. I got this girl standing here dancing with me. And I grabbed, whoop, 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 danced her ass right back out the set. How the fuck you pull that off, nigga? We needed the shot. It wouldn't make sense at a party with him not dancing with his girl at the. It wouldn't make sense. We got to get a shot. We have to get it.
Yo, that's
that's a fact.
So I mean, that's getting the job done. Getting the job done.
I see it's always a story to these projects, yo. It's always a backstory
that people don't know about.
But
everybody was professional. We got the job done. So shout to everybody that was involved in that. You know, there was the beef went away. There was no more bullshit throughout the rest of the production. Everybody was professional on set every day. You know, put their best foot forward. So that was just a moment, a hiccup on the radar right there. So,
there's one thing I want to ask you before we close. Tasha Smith.
Yo, he messy, yo.
You went to school with Tasha Smith.
Yo, he messy, yo.
There's a lot of things, you know, we've heard Bobby Rand constantly ask about Tasha Smith, you know, why Tasha Smith hasn't come back to Camden, be a part of the movie scene and what's going on. You know, she could really help. You know, we've seen, you know, the comments from people. Somebody just commented on something recently. Somebody commented. They was like, "Yeah, that chick Tasha from Camden. She don't never come back to do anything for the city." Why do you think she has not come back?
My focus is on me and what I do.
You really gonna do that?
Bro,
you really gonna give me the PC?
Bro, my focus is on me and what I do.
That's
like
true.
even that energy you talking about right there, I blocked them people off of my social media because they focus on other stuff. Like if we ain't focused on getting this project done, this project, not one that we want her or anybody else to come bring, the fuck are we doing? I'm looking for somebody else to bring me what I can do myself. Camera's right here, let's line this shit up. We could shoot a movie with the people in this room with no one else. Why I need her?
No, we could, but with her status and her connection, don't you think she could help elevate? And why hasn't she done that?
You gotta call her.
All right,
so from your,
okay.
I gotta call her.
See his face working. This is the shit that with the camera, the pan is gonna be right there. It's gonna catch that. Damn, let's call her.
Gotta call her, but I'm sure you.
I went to school.
You have a
Tasha.
perspective.
I have a perspective. I know Tasha, and I also know about W.E.B. Du Bois and the Talented 10th, and how the talented 10th of us always believes who we are and don't come back to do what we do.
But I thought Camden always has that allure where people always come back.
What's with you in this? No, it's a lot of people that escape Camden. Camden ain't been. See, you could tell that's some suburban shit right there. You hear that? You can tell if this was a nigga that went to Winslow High right here.
I went to Lindenwood.
That's in the suburbs.
We didn't even know Lindenwood had a high school. Niggas from Camden now. Do y'all have a football team? Does Lindenwood have it? Y'all got a football team?
Yeah.
Lindenwood got a football.
Lindenwood has a football and basketball team. Yeah.
Lindenwood?
Yes.
Y'all, I only heard like real rap. Edgewood, Overbrook, and Winslow. So it's a Lindenwood?
Yo, first of all, we're not changing the subject. Let's go back to Tasha Smith. So
you must not be enamored with Lindenwood High, because I didn't know that till now. You bringing me up the can. Were you in stage plays at Lindenwood High?
No, I wasn't in any plays.
Wait,
no.
Sports?
Yeah, I played basketball. I did video production.
He was like 7. You was like 5'8"?
No, I was 5'10", 5'11".
You was 5'10", okay.
I stopped growing at 16. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking. How tall was y'all sitting there at Lindenwood High? Was it highly recruited people over there? Probably not.
No, nobody. When I went there, the school was only.
Did they write about y'all in any newspapers?
Yeah, we the first school.
Shout out to Lindenwood High. This ain't about y'all. This is about.
Well, actually, speaking of that, shout out to Lindenwood High. Jackie Trackerman, first female coach in South Jersey to take high school's team to the playoffs. She just passed away today. Shout her out. One of the best coaches I ever had.
Rest in peace. I'm glad we just did that there, right there.
Right.
I'm glad we did that.
True.
Ask your question. I'm sorry. Camden High. What about it? Going to school with Tasha?
Going to school with Tasha, yeah. I mean, you have some familiarity with her. Why do you think she has to come back?
I'll put it to you like this. There are people in a multitude of professions, from medicine to entertainment to military and beyond, that graduated from the same school that I did, that don't come back. So the weight of coming back is not only on Tasha Smith for film and television. There's a host of people that go into that one there. So I won't ostracize her by pointing at her. I'll just say that she's from Camden and, she raps in her own way. In terms of coming back, giving back, her representation of being from Camden, there's some kid that's going to resonate with at some point in time. So that's a give back in and of itself, to continue to do what you do, to be the beacon that you are, so someone can see the light.
Okay, I'll accept it.
That was a good answer.
I didn't like that shit.
I didn't like that
I
shit
think
at
it was
all.
the best answer, to be honest, though.
He didn't want that. He want messy shit.
I'm
He looking for that
saying
messy
because
He looking for that messy shit. He like, that's not gonna go viral.
I'm
Talk
gonna
about her
Because
being.
sometimes people
Talk
look at
about
it
this. Look at his
Slide.
face.
I hope she gets some more work since BMF just got canceled, though.
Yeah.
For real.
So-
She will, definitely.
All right, so you do a lot. You do acting, you do poetry. You still currently do poetry? That's not the question, but I just...
I'll pop out, maybe. But
okay, but not really.
Like the writing pen and the creativity, and once that elevated to the next level, you know, went to another level of expression.
Right.
I still have an affinity for it, but I realized that, and no slight to poets or anything like that. But if you think about poetry, usually poets are venting some sort of hurt, some sort of anger, some sort of, you know, vibration that is of a lower frequency that needs to be said and released. So it's important. But I don't like to dwell in a negative space anymore. And I know not that all of my poetry was in that space, but I recognize the energy,
the vibration.
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah. All right, so not poetry, but you act, you produce, cast.
Right.
There you go. See, so you do a lot. So do you find it difficult, or how do you still manage everyday life and family and things of that sort? So
the most important hat I wear, the most important title I ever got, I got 4 years ago when I had my first grandson. My daughter had so it was at that point when I held him for the first time. I have 2 grandchildren, 2 grandsons. The first time I held him and got to that level of understanding of life, for me, having a grandfather like I had, there's a revelation that happens internally for you, not only in the generational hierarchy status, but in the gift of like, wow, I got a legacy that's going beyond. Not many people have that privilege to even have that understanding. People have grandchildren not even understand what you've been given in that gift right there. So everything I do now, even going to the gym, when as much as I do it for staying in shape, I be wanting to keep up with them. And they still look like, nah, I got to keep up with you, and because y'all run, y'all do stuff, and I want to be around for them, you know, for a long time. So every title I've worn as a producer or anything entertainment wise, they great. I love them. But my grandkids excite me. The title of Pop excites me. Like that shit right there, it means something to me. So not that the other stuff doesn't, but it has a different value than just doing it for independent gratification and achievement. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, right. It's kind of deep.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you. We're about to come to a close. Is there any last minute statements, shout outs, or anything that you want to?
I want to shout out the entire South Jersey and Philadelphia region, and even up to New York, because I worked up there as well. Everybody I've ever worked with, anybody who's ever cast me in their films, anybody who I've ever had the opportunity to work with, learn from, or even give to. That's you know, I take that. I value those things. As you see, I go back to the beginning to now with every type of jewelry that I've been given to adorn from that, but I have no problem giving it. So everybody who's given me the light to be on their film or be in their productions, I appreciate them. Salute to Maurice Paramore, salute to Derek Hammond, salute to Terrence Arlen, salute to James up in New York, salute to, man, everybody. I leave people out. And the independent market, support independent film. It's very important that you buy it, support it, watch it, comment on it, like it, hit it, get it in your algorithm. If you can watch P-Valley and put that on your social media, then you should be able to watch independent film and put that on your social media, because those people that are on P-Value already are getting a dollar. It's the person that's next to you that can put you in position that you need to be lifted them up higher. So.
Nah, that's real. That's real. It is. That's free game. Appreciate you.
And we're not paying you, so.
Damn. What else is new? What else is new? I'm going to get my money.
Well, no, we really appreciate you again. I appreciate you too, Shauna. Thank you. Thank you.
And again, shout out to what you're doing here, bro. Like, keep doing what you're doing. I want you to get some toilet paper in that bathroom.
We got toilet paper in there, don't we?
It's the paper towel. It's toilet paper. It's a paper towel.
It's the paper towel right out there.
I want you to replace that soap. You ain't got no soap in the bathroom.
I don't have soap. I'm sorry,
That
man.
mean whoever pooped.
You don't like soap?
No, I do. I forgot to grab it upstairs.
Said you don't like soap.
No, I said I forgot to bring it down here. It's upstairs.
Okay.
Forgot to refill.
He got one ply toilet paper in there and no soap, y'all.
You don't lie. You don't lie.
You have he got one blind toilet paper,
You
no
have
soap, and no paper towel, and a mirror that'll kill you coming out. Be careful when you come to this here pod.
Even though by what he's saying, he might seem like he didn't enjoy it, but he's having a ball right now.
Like this. Smell my finger.
Yo. That's E. coli, man. Chill. That's E. coli, man. Listen. This was a fun episode. This is really dope. I appreciate you. Appreciate you again, Shauna.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheese, Hannah, Eric. Reese. Appreciate you. Well, that wraps up our episode with Opposing Perspectives. Thank you.
Shout out.
Thank you.
Good deal, bro.
Appreciate you. No, thank you so much.